in Montgomery, Alabama, taken to the streets, marching in Alabama as our great-grandparents did in the name of Black Votes Matter. And I haven't seen a single news outlet or article talking about what my people are out there standing for and currently doing. Hundreds of buses of Black people at that took to Montgomery, Alabama at 12 o'clock this afternoon, putting feet on pavement to protest the redistricting that is eliminating Black seats from the Senate as we speak, right before midterms, and everyone's quiet because there's no watermelons or rainbows involved. Even though y'all talk about how we were resting and digesting, now's the time to get the fuck up, and my people are doing it, and everyone's silent as a fucking mouse.
We gather together that you'll be in the midst. Yes, Lord. More than 2 or 3 here, Lord. You said with 2 as a touching, that you will give us whatever we ask for is more than 2 touching here, Lord. Yes, Lord.
And this isn't a little protest. Thousands are expected to rally and march today in Selma, Montgomery. And guess what? There's nothing being said about it, but this is to defend Black political representation. We're witnessing people in the House of Tennessee, Black Democrats, who were walked out of their positions and told they can no longer participate in the committee because they stood up for our rights, and our people are out there fighting, and no one's saying anything.
There is something so insidious happening right now to the Black community, and most white people literally have no idea it's even happening. The Black community is under attack right now at a level we haven't seen probably since the Civil Rights era. You know, with the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act earlier today, you've got the purge of Black federal workers, attacks on nonprofit funding with the whole DEI boogeyman. You've got attacks on the social safety net. Overt racism is on the rise across the board. And they're tired, y'all. They are exhausted by this onslaught. And it's self-proclaimed white Christians leading the charge against them on all of these fronts. So if you are a white Christian and you are not deceived by Trump, we need to rally together around our Black brothers and sisters right now. We need to form a wall around them, and we need to say no more. No more, because this isn't right, and we cannot stand by and do nothing as they are getting absolutely pummeled like Reconstruction just ended or something.
Dumbass.
I hate.
Yo, it's my nigga. The Supreme Court just made it constitutional for elections to discriminate against Black people. And ironically, that decision is directly connected to the recent string of streamers, nerds, cops, and white teenagers saying the N-word. They changed the Voting Rights Act, which was passed the day after John Lewis was beaten so badly by state troopers, his skull was cracked. And a justice who wanted to change it basically said, discrimination happened a long time ago. Letting it impact laws today would be unfair, you know? There are no safeguards when Black people experience discrimination, but everyone has opinions about the reaction. Someone says the N-word and the conversation becomes, get tougher skin, you're overreacting. You guys can say the word and we can't. That's the real discriminating. And now the Supreme Court is saying, we know there's a history of discrimination that impacts your quality of life, but if we implement specific solutions the same way we cause specific harm, that could be seen as unfair. And discrimination's wrong, right? But you can't jump from oppression to equality without accountability. Keep pushing for folks to be accountable, whether it's a person or a country.
I'm gonna need y'all to sit down for just a little while we talk about this, okay? Just yesterday, the Supreme Court handed down a 6-3 decision that election law experts are calling one of the most damaging rulings in 100 years. And I promise you, a lot of people scrolling on their phones right now don't even have any idea that this happened. So let me break it down for you, all right? Plain, simple, no law degree required, all right? So let's start with the Voting Rights Act of 1965. That's a good starting point. After decades of Black Americans being blocked from the polls, poll taxes, literacy tests, violence, intimidation, you know the drill. Congress passed a law that said your vote will be protected and your vote will count, okay? That law was the crown jewel of the civil rights movement. Now, here's what you need to understand about how your vote gets counted or doesn't get counted. Every state gets divided into districts, okay? Each district elects one person to Congress. And whoever draws those district lines has enormous power, because you can draw them to give a community a voice, or you can draw them to silence that same community. Stay with me. Louisiana has nearly 1/3 black population. And after the 2020 census, the Republican-controlled legislature drew a map with 5 majority white districts and only 1 majority black district. Black voters sued. And courts agreed that the map was unfair. And Louisiana was ordered to draw a second majority black district, and they did. A black man by the name of Cleo Fields won that seat in November of 24. Then a group of white voters sued and said, you can't draw districts with race in mind, even to fix discrimination. Never mind that that's what they had done in the first place, okay? And yesterday, the Supreme Court agreed with them, 6-3, along party lines. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking, but don't we still get to vote? Don't we still get to vote? Yes. And here's why that's not the whole story. Imagine your neighborhood has, let's say, 40 black voters who all want the same candidate. Stay with me. But somebody splits you across 4 different districts, 10 of you in each one. Now, in every single district, your community is outnumbered. Your candidate loses in all 4. Every single person voted. Every vote was counted, and you got 0 representation. That is vote dilution, and that is exactly what the Voting Rights Act was designed to stop. The Supreme Court just made it nearly impossible to challenge maps that do exactly that. Justice Sotomayor said in her dissent that this ruling greenlights redistricting plans that will disable minority communities. One of the nation's top election law scholars called what remains of the Voting Rights Act a hollow shell, just a hollow shell. The ballot box is still open, beloved. They just quietly picked the power clean out of it. And this isn't a partisan talking point, okay? This is history happening right now in real time, and you deserve to know it. You deserve to know all about it. So share this. Talk about it. Because an uninformed people can't defend their own freedom. What to do? Stay informed. Stay engaged. And above all else, do not stay silent.
Wow. Midterm elections are here, and many black voters, of black citizens, are not aware of the impending danger that looms across the horizon with the judgment passed by the Supreme Court that was geared towards the Voting Out Rights amended, which allows, voters to vote along districts and party lines. And like the beautiful analysis that has been given by our professionals and reviews of the videos we've shared, all credit to the content creators, original content creators, it is quite glaring that this is one of the worst rulings that have happened in the past 100 years. What they technically did was to take away power from minority groups. Foundational Black Americans, African Americans, Latinos, Hispanics, and the likes. And this is what many people were fighting against, the re-election of this particular man. And his administration has caused more harm than good. And it's amazing how a whole lot of Republican supporters are still in delusional about the fact that this government has done more damage to his people than good. And so this is defeating the entire thing that was achieved during the civil rights movement, which was to empower the black voters, to give them a voice, to give them equal representation at all levels of governance. And they have systematically and legally watered it or removed it. It does not virtually exist. So you cast your vote in the polling unit, but it does not count. Your representation does not count. So the essence is this: why then vote? So if you're coming across my YouTube channel, you're welcome. Feel free to hit the notification button, hit the subscription button, so that when we bring updates, you'll be first to be notified. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. You're the reason why we do what we want to do. So I want to really know what your thoughts are, because I personally feel that it is high time that we stop being silent over this kind of thing. It is time for people to begin to speak up. And that is what you see happening down there in Alabama. You know, the people are on the streets, there's demonstration, and they are calling it what it is. Calling it what it is. And we're expecting thousands and thousands of people to hit the road as they express their views to defend our people.